It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in greater West Bloomfield. The holiday season is in the air within West Bloomfield, which helps serve the importance of family time. West Bloomfield Parks helps to provide those thoughtful family moments all year round and recently put on their annual High Tops and High Heels Mother-Son Dance. It was a warm night of fun, dancing, and family togetherness. And I was at this year's event and heard from a few local mothers on what this event means to them.
This is our second year, and we have really enjoyed ourselves. It's fun, it's memorable, and it's just a good time out with my little guy.
And what do you see in your son when he's spending this time with you and he's getting to dance with you and just have a night with you all to himself?
I see the twinkle in his eyes, and I see that baby that I first held on February 8th of 2016, and I see him growing and blossoming, and he's just everything to me.
Oh, he remembers it every year. He brings it up. He is the one who asks me each year if we're going to come back. So it's just a special time that he and I spend together. All the moms, all the kids are just having such a good time. And you guys have so many cool things for all different kids, right? You have kids who like to dance and they're outgoing. You have kids who love balloon animals and art and the photo booth and everything. So my son's a little quieter. So he enjoys all the other activities that you guys have. And I think that's pretty unique.
I mean, I feel like, November, December is all about family. And when you think about family, I think about being with my children, being with my husband. And so with it being November, December, and Thanksgiving is next week, Christmas is next month, it just makes me feel really, really happy.
What does it mean to be strengthening your own family unit by attending events like these?
It makes me realize that when I spend this quality time with my son, it is putting him out there into the world one day, understanding the importance of family. When we spend quality time like this, it makes him understand how important family truly is.
I think it's just a great blessing to be able to do this and build community bonds. And we actually came with some friends that we invited, and it's just been great to spend time with them in a different setting, and we've had a ball.
It helps bring to essence the meaning of community, coming together, gathering together, doing things together, laughing together, and making memories together.
Last question. What do you have to say to the great people at West Bloomfield Parks who put on events like this every single year?
West Bloomfield Parks and Rec, thank you so much. Thank you for creating an opportunity for us to come together, be together, and make memories. It's wonderful. Thank you.
It's wonderful to see every single year, and it always warms my heart to see the families having such a great time. Glad everyone had such a wonderful time with the High Tops and High Heels event in West Bloomfield. A reminder for Greater West Bloomfield residents that we are just a few days away from Killer's Christmas, returning for its 15th year on Friday, December 5th at the Lodge Bar and Grill in Keego Harbor. What began as a heartfelt tradition started by the late Tom Kowalski has grown into one of the community's most beloved holiday charity events, blending festive fun with meaningful impact. With a lively lineup of Detroit's top media celebrities serving as guest bartenders, the evening promises warm camaraderie, exciting raffles, and generous giving. And all proceeds support powerful local causes, including Team Joseph, Filling Kids' Plates, and Defeat the Label, ensuring that every dollar raised helps lift up children and families across Metro Detroit. I'm going to be at this event just as I was last year, and I hope to see so many other people throughout the community at this event as well. Pickle Rage in West Bloomfield is kicking off the holiday season with Dink and Donate, its annual toy drive supporting local children and families. From December 1st to December 12th, guests are encouraged to donate a new unwrapped toy, helping spread joy to kids in need during the holidays. And with every toy donated, participants help ensure more children experience holiday joy, making each act of giving such a win for the community. The campaign culminates on December 12th with the Pickle Rage Toy Drive celebration event featuring fun, lively pickleball play and opportunities to connect with your fellow community members. That's sure to be a very fun time. Speaking of toys, step back in time and rediscover the joy of play at the Vintage Games Open House on Sunday, December 14th. From 1 to 4 p.m. at the Orchard Lake Museum by the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. This family-friendly event invites guests of all ages to explore the magic of classic toys while learning about the newest inductees to the Strong's National Toy Hall of Fame. You can get a hands-on experience with a charming collection of vintage games and toys, sparking nostalgia for adults and curiosity for younger generations. It's a delightful opportunity to celebrate and to have so much fun around the community and have fun found in the toys that have shaped childhood for decades. Once again, that event is on December 14th. Some big news in West Bloomfield to make note of. The West Bloomfield Recreation Activity Center will officially close its doors on December 12th, marking the start of an exciting new chapter for the community. The 8,400 square foot facility will be demolished to make way for the upcoming multi-generational Connect Community Center, a modern space designed to better support residents of all ages. And beginning December 15th, walk-in services will transition to the Connect Senior Center on 14 Mile Road, and all existing programs have been thoughtfully relocated to other township facilities. Joining us now on The Splash to tell us more is West Bloomfield Parks Executive Director Kelly Heyer. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. That's a great intro.
Got to get all that information out there. Got to make sure people of West Bloomfield are informed. This is a very big development, but an exciting one as well, because you guys have some very big changes coming up. What specific programs and services are being moved, and where will they be operating during this transitional period throughout the community?
That is a big question, and I will try to answer it swiftly. So we offer all of our customer service out of the Recreation Activity Center. So our customer service operations will still continue, but our walk-in services, of course, will be moved to Connect Senior Center, and that's at 14 Mile and Farmington Road. So we've been in that facility since 2024. We opened in August there. But if you call the phone number, the 451-1900 number, it'll still be answered. You just might not know where that person is sitting. So traditionally, they have been answered the phones at the Recreation Activity Center. So behind the scenes, you'll still get the quality customer service that our residents are used to.
All right, that's good for everybody to be aware of. And it sounds like things at the Connect Senior Center maybe might be a little bit crowded, at least for a little bit, until things start to sort themselves out and everybody finds a good place to land. How would you say these relocations are going to directly affect daily operations and activities that already take place with the Connect Senior Center?
Sure, we've tried to keep the same template of the set schedule going forward, and we're going to be displaced for 2 years. And we'll get more into the timeline. So for 2 years, we're going to be living this new way of the schedule. We've expanded our hours for programming at Connect just to be conducive to evening and weekend activities. And we've also expanded our rental services for Connect. So traditionally, you've been able to come in and rent Marshbank Lodge, Recreation Activity Center, Drake Sports Park, Community Room, and now you'll see Connect as a rental opportunity on the list. Because we know at the Recreation Activity Center, we have 2 small rooms that people have used traditionally for maybe a baby shower or a family gathering or an HOA meeting. And now without those 2 spaces, we've tried to be thoughtful in, okay, what else could we offer the community? So we've consistently always worked with our instructors and our volunteers to bring recreation leisure services to our residents. And we're still going to continue to work with our instructors on setting their schedule. So in the winter guide, which just became live on our website, and you'll find the winter guide in your mailbox soon, you'll see where all the programs are taking place. And then when we get to the summer season and next fall, you'll see some small changes to the schedule there as well.
All right, glad to hear that you guys have everything under control, that everything should remain efficient for the community. Everybody's still getting what they want to see. Now, I would imagine with a big move like this, there's going to be a lot of moving parts. Maybe, and like you said, people are going to be in kind of a weird position for a while. What steps is the Parks and Rec team taking to ensure continuity and minimal disruption for Connect members?
Well, we behind the scenes have a way we handle communication, and we ensure that our staff are staying knowledgeable and up to speed. And that is through just our internal technology and communications, our registration software, our meetings that we hold regularly with different parts of the staff. So we'll continue to have those interactions. As far as our residents, though, you can still look for updates in the following areas on our website, in our written publications, which include the activity guide, our senior happenings that come out a couple times a year, and then of course our monthly email blast. So if you are a Connect member and your membership is still current, you should be receiving a monthly email from Bernadette Hudgens, who's our senior services manager, and she gives most recent up-to-date information, just quick snippets of what you need to know for that month. And then, of course, if you walk into Connect, we have monthly flyers that highlight the calendar and the activities and anything you might need to know there. So we're trying to cover the bases if you're technology savvy or if you would like to see something in paper form, we've got you covered.
You got something for everything, and always doing your work to keep the community informed. I love to see it. Now, with the daily operations at Connect, it sounds like that a lot of the traditional events and regular events that take place at Connect will be continuing, but are there events with Connect that might temporarily be paused, at least until you've finalized the transitional period?
You know, nothing to my knowledge. We have had to relocate Meals on Wheels. That I didn't get a chance to update the community on. So if you are a recipient of Meals on Wheels, you'll see nothing change. But if you are a volunteer that drives for Meals on Wheels, whether or not you have a regular route or you're a substitute driver, instead of the Recreation Activity Center, you will need to go to the police department, which is across the parking lots on the Civic Center campus. So that is one logistically change. That we thankfully have a great partnership with our campus neighbors, and the police department have picked up that service. So our volunteers will still have a very easy way to get their supplies out to our homebound seniors. But as far as our other services, I can't think besides no rentals here at the Recreation Activity Center related to the senior center. But nature outreach, if I can speak on that for a moment, I can give a quick update on that. So traditionally, again, our naturalists are really clever, creative, and have offered up a monthly routine of offerings. And we've had to make some location changes and put a pause on Discovery Days. So those will be reinvented, and we might have an update for the summer guide. But until then, just watch for the email blasts or the information that is on your registration receipt for those changes, because when we're moving the animals during the 2-year when we build out the community center, we had not been able to secure a location for residents to be able to come in and use the nature room like they do now. But our outreach services, we're still going to offer that. So the naturalists are on the road, and that's always been a service that they've offered before. And so I'm thinking more outreach appointments that will be coming your way if that's what the residents so choose to work with us on.
All right, seems like a lot of out-of-the-box thinking for a lot of these very well-known services that you see at the Parks and Rec Center, giving them a bit of a fresh coat of paint and making sure that they are still accessible for as many people in the community as possible. I love to see it. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Parks Executive Director Kelly Heyer, who's talking about the transitional period that's going to be taking place very, very soon on December 12th, when the Rec Activity Center closes its doors and we begin the transitional process temporarily to Connect Community Center. Now, one of the big things I'm curious about that might be affected from this change is transportation. How will transportation, accessibility, or facility navigation be addressed for seniors during this period?
I'm really glad that you're asking that question. That was the first group of employees to move, so they've already been reassigned to their new location. And so again, The phones will be answered in the same manner. Seniors are making their appointments for transit services. You won't even know that our scheduler is in a different location. As far as the employees, where they get their buses, where they clean out their buses, that's been relocated to a location for the next 2 years. And it went really well yesterday. I checked in with staff and they seem to not even miss a beat.
All right, that's good that the staff is up to date and already hard at work going through this process. Now,
That's right.
with this process taking place in this transitional period, there's going to be a lot of different things going on, but do you think there's the possibility for maybe new community partnerships to come for the Connect Senior Center during this time?
Yes, we started these conversations a couple years ago, knowing and hoping that we'd be going in this direction. So we actually have been working very closely with the West Bloomfield School District, and they will be reviewing a consideration for the lease of the Green Media Center for our administrative staff, our naturalists, and one customer service representative. So stay tuned for an official update on that, but the West Bloomfield School Board is giving consideration for use of that space. And as you know, Civic Center TV, we're all partners and making sure that our residents not only stay informed, but what services we're providing to our residents are documented and are celebrated with the community, and then are saved for historical purposes. So we'll still be able to continue to work with Civic Center TV in that manner and still be able to provide really great services. I think we'll just all be on the go more, Jake, is what I'm assuming.
Well, I certainly love hearing that last little bit. And yeah, we love to help you guys out and love to get this information out there. Now, you said that this transitional period should last about 2 years. Are there any benchmarks or milestones that the community should watch out for in that time? And maybe some of the first ones people should be aware of?
So let's address the demolition of the existing building. And that was an extensive analyzation of the process and the actual building utilities and where it sits on this site. And it's a very complicated site because we're surrounded by nature. And the one thing that the community is gaining by demoing this building and shifting all of the building services to the east is the west side of the building now that has the outdoor natural play area, as well as the parking lot that we sometimes turn into event space. Half of our existing building now will be returning to green space. So we're gaining square footage on the west side of the building. We're calling it an outdoor plaza. And so we'll be able to house more polished events outdoors on the west side of our building. And the outdoor natural play area will be expanded and enhanced and a little bit more intentional in the programming. Right now, if you're out in our parking lot, you can tell it's a parking lot, that it was never really planned to have big community events on the west side of our building. So that's one thing that we're gaining by taking down this building. The other thing that we had to really analyze was the utilities and the HVAC and the roof and the quality of the windows and the doors and all the functions of how that connects internally, where the bathrooms sit. And we really took a look at how the flow would work if we kept half of the existing building, which would only be 4,000 square feet. In any way, shape, or form, we looked at that. And we took about 6 weeks to analyze the existing site. We just couldn't make it work. What we're ending up with is a 2-story, 48,000 square foot building, but it sits upon a roughly 25,000 square foot footprint, if you can envision that part. So we're not taking, like if you compare us to the library, that's a 1-story, 65,000 square foot building. Our building is going to be stacked on top of each other. So with that, the demo of this building is about 4 months process in the planning and the execution of it. So by April 1st, we might be just starting demo or wrapping up demo. That's one milestone we've been using, is the April 1st date. But we'll break ground in the spring, and there'll be a 16-month construction period. And with construction, Mother Nature needs to play her part in helping us along in this. We're really hoping to have staff inside the new Connect Community Center in the fall of 2027. That way we can make sure we're organized enough to welcome our first programs into the building and then expand all of our programming to the residents. So right now, the 2 dates I'll give you is April 1st of 2026 for groundbreaking and fall of 2027 for when staff will move back in and we'll start to reopen the community center.
Lots of work on the horizon, but all of this work is going to be worth it for all of these amazing resources coming to the community. I got one more question for you, Kelly. Where is the best place people can go to stay up to date on any updates with this brand new center and how they can stay informed on what's to come?
Oh, can I give you 3? So
it
depends on your time. If you are able to check your weekly email blast, that is the best place to get up-to-date, relevant information. And we are really intentional about how we send out that email. It is only once a week, and we are going to give you the top things that you need to know. So that way it's fresh, it's really current information, and that'll include sometimes closures, reminders, things and holidays, if something's selling out, or important reminders for the community. The next thing would be our website. If you go to our website and you go to the bonds page, we've been able to keep that page up to date and hyperlinking different articles or publications or even YouTube videos that you guys record for us. And then beyond that, the Park Commission meetings, those are recorded monthly, and you can go back and watch those if you're unable to attend live in person. And that's a great source of information because I do a update in that meeting during the staff report, specifically on the community center projects. So that way, again, we're making it really easy if you have email or you're wanting to go search yourself for the website or check out a YouTube video on the Park Commission meeting. You'll be completely informed on all of the progress we've been making on this project.
All right, plenty of places to go to stay informed on all of the big changes coming to West Bloomfield. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
You're very welcome anytime. I love coming on, and you're a great interviewer. Appreciate the questions.
I appreciate the compliment. We love having you guys on, and we love getting this information out there. It's going to be a very big change for the West Bloomfield Parks and Rec Department, but it's going to do so much good for the greater West Bloomfield community. Recently, a posthumous honor was given to a beloved educator at Pleasant Lake Elementary. Former Pleasant Lake Elementary para-educator Doug Goodwin was honored with a Golden Apple Award at a recent Board of Education meeting. Goodwin was nominated by Pleasant Lake teachers River Eubanks and Sarah Persbilo for his exceptional dedication to students and his love of helping them learn new skills. And colleagues described him as a positive, uplifting presence who consistently brought optimism and warmth to even the most challenging of days. Sarah Persbilo joined us on The Splash recently to tell us all about Doug and his impact on the school district. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Of course, this is such a great story. Really, really happy to hear about what you did to honor Doug Goodwin with the Golden Apple Award. Let's jump right into it. Maybe for people watching this who might not be aware, what is the Golden Apple Award?
Yes, so anybody in the district can nominate somebody that works in the district for a Golden Apple Award, and this is just an overall rounded award that gives people the opportunity to be celebrated for something that a lot of everyday people might not see. And so, of course, myself and kindergarten teacher River Eubanks nominated Mr. Doug Goodwin for this Golden Apple Award because every day he went above and beyond for both our special education students and the general education students here at Pleasant Lake Elementary.
Sounds like a great guy. Really, really happy that you're able to honor him in this way. Could you tell us a little bit more about Doug and his impact on the community?
Absolutely. So I got a chance to meet Mr. Doug 6 years ago We were both beginning the Pleasant Lake Elementary autism classrooms together, and we started up these 3 classrooms together, and he taught me so much about working with kiddos on the autism spectrum. He helped me with sensory tools and academic tools, behavior tools to help get those kiddos regulated and focused.
Okay, it looks like we have a slight.
Lake
no, we're
Elementary.
good. Sorry about that, Sarah. It looks like there was a slight audio hiccup. If you could just repeat the last little bit right there.
Oh, sorry. I was just talking about how Mr. Doug was a huge impact in our school community, always showed up with a smile and made a big impact directly with the kiddos in the autism spectrum classrooms.
That's so great to hear. And as somebody with autism myself, I love hearing about the work that's being done to educate other teachers and to help make these kids comfortable. What did it mean to the district to honor Doug Goodwin with the Golden Apple Award posthumously?
Mr. Doug would have been over the moon to get this award. It really would have meant everything to him. Everybody in our school kind of looked at Mr. Doug as the grandpa figure, because he'd be the guy that would come in with all the treats and the candy for the kids. He'd be the teacher that want to, hang out and play. And he was always relationship building first. So that was a big part of why Mr. Doug graciously got this Golden Apple Award, because he always focused on relationships work with those kids, whether it was finding out their favorite interests or bringing in their special treats. Mr. Doug always got to the kiddos level and met them where they're at. And so the district was, I think, very, very happy to honor Mr. Doug with the Golden Apple Award. And we were so lucky to get Cheryl Goodwin, Mr. Doug's wife, to be able to accept that award as well. She is currently a school social worker in the Walled Lake District. So we are very lucky to still have Mr. Doug's wife, Cheryl, to be a big part of our classroom and our relationship with her.
That's great that she was able to enjoy this honor as well. And everything you just said about Doug, that is what makes an amazing teacher. Building those ever important bonds with those students, having those unique connections with every single student, that's what makes a great teacher. And how did Doug help students maybe build independence and confidence in achieving some of their goals?
Absolutely. Mr. Doug was huge on helping students build their confidence. He'd always be right there next to them, helping if they needed support, whether it was friends that needed help with cutting or gluing or even talking using their AAC device. Mr. Doug was always by the side, willing to help out and willing to jump in when needed. He always was bringing the students, different reinforcements, whether it was new puzzle games or new toys that he would get on the weekends to just, again, bridge that relationship piece between his students and himself. So we were really lucky to get to have Mr. Doug in our classroom for the last 6 years. Mr. Doug was in my classroom for 2 full years as a para, and then after he retired, he came back consistently as a retired sub-para in my room, even showing up on the days that I didn't necessarily need him in my room. He would show up just because he loved those kids so much. He came for the important days. He came for the meet and greets, for the parent-teacher conferences, for the fun field trips. He was always an extra hand and a familiar face and a consistent friend for our kiddos.
It sounds like Doug truly had such an impact on the community. He will absolutely be missed. And in what ways do you feel that Doug's legacy is going to continue to influence the staff and the students today?
I know for myself, in my own classroom with my paras and we always are referring back to Mr. Doug every day. Just little things here and there remind us of him. He was so good with the kiddos, and I hope that all of the teachers can remember the smiling face and the warm heart that he brought to our building every day. He really was a treasure.
Sounds like he was. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Sarah Presbilo, of Sarah Presbilo, one of the nominators of Doug Goodwin for the Golden Apple Award with Walled Lake School District, honoring this incredible educator who brought so much to the community. Now, with awards like this, how does the district support and recognize the contributions of para-educators like Doug?
Yes, so we are lucky enough to have a new principal this year, Miss Andrea Hassey, who goes above and beyond to support and applause all of the para-educators in our building. And so not only do we recognize him by giving him a memory, but we will also be hopefully planting a tree in his honor in the springtime to remember him and for our school to remember him, because he was such a big part of this Pleasant Lake family.
That's great that you guys are continuing to honor Doug and everything he's brought to the school. And what message do you hope that this Golden Apple Award sends throughout the Pleasant Lake community and the broader school district?
I just hope that anybody that's thinking about awarding somebody or telling them that they're doing a great job, just do it, because Mr. Doug would have loved to hear this, that he got this award. This would have really, I know, meant a lot to him. And so I encourage anyone, coworkers, friends, anyone who's working with others, to just share the love and share the kindness and appreciate who is around you, because you never know what life is going to take, And we just miss Mr. Doug very much and wish he was still here, because it would have been a great year to end the note on with him.
You are certainly right. And what do you think Doug would say if he were still around and he got to see all of this celebration for him and all of these honors come his way?
Oh, he would have been overjoyed. Tears would have been in his eyes. Hugs would have been going around. Just being recognized for the kind soul that he was would have been so much for him. I know that these kiddos, especially the kiddos on the autism spectrum, adored Mr. Doug, and he adored them right back. So again, we'll miss Mr. Doug. We miss him every day, and we're going to continue to remind students about him and carry on his legacy at Pleasant Lake Elementary.
Well, Sarah, it's been amazing to hear about Doug's legacy and how it's going to continue on and carry on in the future. I got one more question before we wrap things up. How can schools continue honoring Doug's values of dedication, growth, and a positive mindset moving forward?
I think that being a Mr. Doug and having a Mr. Doug mindset is where we all need to grow and get into, because he truly showed up every day, even on the hard days, even on the big behavior days, with a smile on his face, coffee in his hand, Timbits in his hand, ready to rock and roll the day. So I just think that schools and districts need to be having a Mr. Doug mindset. Positivity, love, kindness, and fun were his top priorities. And that is the way we're going to continue to roll and rock here at Pleasant Lake.
We could all use a Mr. Doug mindset. That's what everybody needs to kickstart their day and to tackle life. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
Sounds like Doug really made such an impact with his community, and it's so great to hear of him being honored in this incredible way. Some big changes, or some big Christmas events are coming to West Bloomfield courtesy of the Bay Point Golf Club. Irish Christmas from Corktown is taking place on Thursday, December 11th. A lively and heartwarming holiday performance featuring traditional Irish music and instruments. And on the 17th, it's Christmas at the Point, a festive evening of dinner, drinks, and dancing inside the beautifully decorated Bay Point Golf Club. Nora Atisha, Bay Point's general manager, and Sean Gavin, the producer for Irish Christmas from Corktown, joined me on The Splash recently to tell us what residents can expect. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jake. Nice to meet you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Of course, glad to be talking about these very exciting events just in time for the holiday season. I know everybody in Greater West Bloomfield is excited. Nora, I'm going to start with you. With two very different holiday events happening, how do you balance cultural programming with community-wide appeal?
Yeah, so, it's something that we've worked upon and kind of discussed throughout here in Bay Point, and really wanted to celebrate the season in a way that feels welcoming to everyone. One example, as Sean will discuss a little bit further, is the Irish Christmas event that brings a beautiful culture flavor, while the Christmas at the Point is more of a classic family-friendly holiday experience. Both of these events have their own personality, right? But the heart behind them is the same: community, joy, bringing people together. When you focus on these two, creating one genuine, meaningful experience that we're looking to appeal to a wide audience.
You're right, and these are two very, very unique events that are going to bring very, very different feelings for Bay Point, but all of it is going to equal fun. And Sean, I'm going to jump over to you. We're going to start with the Irish Christmas from Corktown. What inspired that idea to bring Irish Christmas to the community this year?
Well, we actually did it for the first time last year over at St. John's Resort in Plymouth, which was a lot of fun. And I've been touring around the country for the last 15 years as a professional musician. And for many years, I did a Christmas show, actually, that toured all across America. And so when I moved back to Detroit a few years ago, I thought it would be a nice kind of thing to get some of the local musicians we have so many great local musicians and dancers and singers that we would get together and put on a kind of Christmas production for the community, because I've just seen how much people really like it around other parts of the country. And it's a nice way to bring people together. And so yeah, that was kind of the impetus for starting the whole thing.
And it's amazing that you're bringing these festivities and these feelings to Greater West Bloomfield. Sean, how would you describe the musical experience attendees can expect from the Corktown performers?
Well, it's definitely going to be very lively. There's a lot of upbeat kind of music, but there's also going to be a lot of classic Christmas songs. Like, I think we're going to be doing Joy to the World, The First Noel, kind of these classic songs that everybody knows. But then also we'll have some traditional Irish music and also songs. Like one of the oldest Christmas carols is the Wexford Carol, which is a really nice old Irish one. So we'll be doing that. And then we also have a couple of really great dancers coming. Aaron Simpson from the Ardon Academy and Nick Garris. Nick is a fantastic step dancer and musician himself, Michigan Heritage Award winner. So it's fun. It's very family friendly, wholesome, but also lively, and it'll be a great night, I'm sure.
Sounds like some very accomplished dancers being a part of this event, which should make for a very exciting night. Nor, what do you hope audiences feel or take away from experiencing an Irish-style Christmas event?
Honestly, I'm hoping, some sort of feeling of uplifting and connecting. I know from everything I've learned about Irish Christmas traditions, they're built around family, faith, and celebration. So much like my own background being in the Chaldean community, it gives the guests to leave a feeling of joy, happiness, inspiration, maybe a little bit of appreciation of different cultures that are out there in the world.
Awesome. Glad that you're able to see a lot from this event, and it's able to hit you personally as well. Sean, are there any unique traditions or stories that the ensemble incorporates to make the performance feel authentically Irish?
Yeah, absolutely. There are some unique Christmas traditions in Ireland. A few that we kind of dedicate moments in the show to. One in particular is called Law on Droleen, which is the day of the wren. And that's St. Stephen's Day, or Boxing Day. And there's the whole story about St. Stephen hunting for the wren. And there's a tradition in Ireland where people dress up in kind of wild costumes and go around the neighborhood, kind of around the townland. And basically, it's kind of like Halloween almost. You go around and kind of, there's an expression, give us a penny and we'll be gone. So they kind of go around and collect money, and it's supposed to be for charity. I don't know how much of it always goes to charity, but it's supposed to be anyway. So that's Law on Droleen. And then we have another one called Law Nullig Naman, which means Women's Christmas. And this happens on the 6th of January, the Feast of the Epiphany. And this is the nice point in the show where the ladies, we have a great harpist. Siobhan McKinney is a All-Ireland champion harpist. Katie Else is a beautiful singer who sang with Riverdance. And then, of course, Hannah Harris, a great fiddle player and singer, originally from North Carolina, now living in Michigan. So we kind of highlight the ladies at this point. And Women's Christmas basically is a celebration of the ladies who do so much over the holiday season. And so basically it's their day to take a rest, and the men are supposed to take over, and as you might imagine, things tend to fall into disarray then at that point of the holiday season. But but it's a fun point of the show, and so those are just a couple of the unique Irish Christmas traditions that we include.
It sounds like a really, really exciting show, and there's going to be so much for the community to take away from this event. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Nora Tisha and Sean Gavin with Bay Point Golf Club and Banquet, who've got a couple very exciting events coming up for the holiday season. We just talked about your Irish Christmas from Corktown event that's going to be taking place on Thursday, December 11th. But you also have Christmas at the Point, which is taking place on Wednesday, December 17th. Oh, another very exciting event looking forward to. Nor, what makes Christmas at the Point a standout celebration compared to past holiday events at Bay Point?
You know, this year we're really going all in. We've elevated the decor, the food, the entertainment. We're really just everything all around. When you walk in, we want people to feel the beautiful Christmas scene, the warm, the cozy, the full of life feeling that you get during these holidays. So we wanted people to have something to talk about, look forward to hopefully every year.
Awesome. I mean, that's what everybody wants to see for the holidays. And can you talk about the atmosphere guests can expect at this event, from the decor to the food to the entertainment at Christmas at the Point?
Sure. Picture a cozy, elegant Christmas setting with the greenery, warm lighting, decorated trees, you know, those classic holiday feel, those touches that make people just smile throughout the holiday season. And of course, the food, bringing some good dishes out there, kept them comforting and seasonal. And of course, live entertainment throughout the night. It's that event that we're looking for where you can relax, have fun, take photos, enjoy food, and really just soak in the holiday spirit.
That's what it's all about, soaking in that holiday spirit and celebrating it with the community. Now, I got a question for both of you. How do you ensure that both small groups and large parties have an enjoyable experience during these Bay Point celebrations? Sean, I'll start with you.
Well, you know, we're going to be definitely, you know, our community. So this event is also partially sponsored by the Irish Music Institute, which is a local Irish music nonprofit music school. So we're going to have a lot of members of our community there, you know, checking people in, and kind of a lot of we do a lot of concerts throughout the year, all different ones. This is our kind of Christmas production, so we're very grateful to be out at Bay Point. So thanks again, Nora, for hosting us. But you know, we have a really great Irish community here in Detroit, and so you know, we definitely all have a good connection between each other, and it's very cordial and friendly, and a very warm, inviting kind of atmosphere. So,
Nora, same question.
Sure, thank you. We put a lot of thought into this year. The flow of the room, and particularly our service. Smaller groups will get that intimate, personalized feeling, while larger gatherings, larger parties will have, you know, enough space and energy around them to be able to just enjoy the time. Our team is trained. They anticipate different groups that we're going to have, and we're just going to have a good and enjoyable time. The goal is for every guest, no matter what size, small or large, to feel like the night was just designed for them.
I love that, making this experience something everybody can enjoy and making sure everybody has a unique experience as well. Nora, I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. Which part of planning these holiday events would you say has been the most rewarding for you personally?
Honestly, being at Bay Point Golf Club, it's really seeing the community's excitement in different ways. You know, Bay Point is a beautiful golf club, where, you know, we have different personalities, different environments, different community for that matter. When we talk to people, they're just so excited that we have, you know, just to have Bay Point here as a whole. You see big families walking in during different events that we've had. To me, that's just a large reward. So we work very hard, you know, behind the scenes to watch it all come together. And when we see it all in front of us, it just makes me smile a lot, honestly.
I love that, putting a smile on your face wherever you look at these holiday events. All right, last question, and this is for both of you. Out of everything with these incredible holiday events coming up, what do you hope these celebrations bring to the West Bloomfield community during the holiday season more than anything else? Nora, we'll start with you.
Sure. To me, honestly, as I stated a little bit earlier, joy, togetherness, happiness, a sense of tradition as well. Sometimes holidays can be stressful, and if we at Bay Point can be a place where people feel connected and enjoying their time, enjoying that moment, I mean, that's just a pure blessing for us. And that's what we're trying to do, have that positive part of the community's holiday season.
Sean, same question.
Yeah, I think I just echo everything Noor there, said. But, as a performer, when we're on stage, it's always a treat when you see the audience's eyes light up when, a dancer comes out or an unexpected kind of moment in the show occurs and it's everybody's kind of beaming from it. And that's very rewarding from our perspective. So that kind of joy and togetherness, everybody having that same experience and then having a good chat about it afterwards. And so that's kind of, for me, that's the thing that I find very rewarding in these kind of shows. So very much looking forward to that.
And I'm looking forward to it as well. I hope to see a lot of people out there taking in that holiday spirit and to be having a great time all the while. Noor, Sean, thank you both so much for joining us here on the Splash Live.
Thank you so much, Jake. Appreciate the time.
So many delightful and really, really fun events to be looking for all throughout Greater West Bloomfield just in time for the holiday season. We're going to take a quick break and jump into some more stories right here on the program right after this. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. What people are watching in Sylvan Lake, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Hello, my name is Danya Bazzi. I'm the superintendent of West Bloomfield School District. I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on hitting the amazing milestone of 1 million viewers. Your involvement in our community doesn't go unnoticed. We thank you for keeping our residents and community engaged in the latest and greatest news and information. I'm Danya Bazzi, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to the Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff. Scam calls are something everybody should be aware of, especially those in West Bloomfield. Recent scam calls have occurred with callers impersonating West Bloomfield Township officials, asking for money and for personal information. It's a situation everybody in the township is getting on top of. And West Bloomfield Township's treasurer, Terry Weingarten, joined us on The Splash recently to tell us how residents can stay informed and how the township is prepared to fight back. Terry, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Go ahead. Thank you so much. There's been a lot of scams going on. So the current big scam we have is if you come before one of our commissions, planning, zoning, and you think that you're going to be able to do the building project that you're so excited to do, you might get an email from the township, but it isn't from the township. And it will look like a real invoice because these people have really become more sophisticated. So it used to be when you got an email, there would be spelling errors, grammatical errors. It didn't really sound like the kind of English that we speak here. However, with AI technology, the scammers are getting a lot better. So if you get an invoice from the township asking you to wire or ACH funds, just know we don't do that. We have the same ways to pay that we always have. So you can always come in person and pay by check. You can go online through our website and there are ways to pay. You can use our Dropbox and pay. Sending electronic funds, never gonna happen. We will never, ever allow that. Also, realize that as government, we have certain email addresses. So for instance, this is kind of a copy of what it looked like. It looks real, but if you look at the top, you'll see it's not wbtownship.org that you're getting the email from. It's probably some strange email address. Just like was mentioned in the last portion, if you get a phone number coming through or an email address you don't know, AI is making it even a little easier for the bad guys to make it look legitimate. Always say, you know what, this sounds a little off. Let me call you back or let me email you back. Go to our website, look up the phone number, 248-451-4800, call into the main line and ask to talk to the department, or go to our website and click on a link to send a message to one of us. Don't trust that the inbound call or email is legitimate. Make sure that you're taking control of the situation and verifying.
That's absolutely right. And it's great to hear that you guys are on top of this and you are making sure that everybody knows to watch out for emails like this. How did you first become aware that people were receiving these fraudulent emails?
So we actually were sent a copy of this email from a resident, and they unfortunately were scammed. And the problem is we didn't receive the funds. So we do have an FBI case set up for this. So we take these scams very seriously, and we realized that we needed to let our residents know. So I will be, I have just enough time to create an insert for the tax bill. I will be sending this information in my tax bill this year, which is going to be mailed out very soon. People receive it around December 1st, showing kind of what the fake invoice looks like. But like I said, just remember that's not how we're going to communicate with you. And also remember, if anybody's ever kind of pressuring you, like you must do this now, it's due now, there's an emergency, anything like that, they do it so that you'll just react, take a beat, breathe, call a friend, call a relative, call us, and just say, it sounds a little off. What do you think? And usually your friend, relative, or town hall will say, that doesn't really sound legitimate. And then always do your due diligence, because there's just a lot of very sophisticated scams. They can even replicate how we look now. So for instance, I'm on this interview right now, which means they know what I look like. They know what my voice sounds like. They technically could mirror me and have me calling you. So just because you think you know someone's voice, ask some questions that would make it obvious if they were really them. And like I said, always be the one who initiates the contact if you can.
All great things to be aware of. And you're absolutely right. These scams are getting a lot more, people are getting a lot more clever with these scams. And like you said, with AI, it's becoming harder and harder to detect things like this and to separate fact from fiction. So I'm curious, what ways legitimately do township officials typically reach out to residents, and how can people verify if that contact is real?
So we normally mail bills, like for instance, your tax bill, your water bill. Unless you've requested an auto pay on your water bill, you're going to get something in the mail. We talk to people via the phone or emails coming from our emails, but we'll never have a link in the email asking for money. We'll never, in an email, say, click here and pay us. We'll always have you go through the website or through one of the normal payment processes, which normally people just come in and pay by check at the counter. So you just think about the mechanism. It's never going to be an electronic form of payment that's not initiated through our website or through us directly.
All right, great things to remember and ways to know if things are legitimate. Terry, how really important is community awareness in preventing scams like this, and what can neighbors do to help each other stay informed?
So that's a really good question. I think sharing this information with people, making sure people know. And also, any of us can be targets, right? So, like I said, especially if you have elderly relatives, neighbors, parents, they're usually a bigger target because these scammers figure that they're more trusting and that they might not be as technologically savvy. So, obviously, any of us can be targeted, and many of us have fallen for scams. But just be careful. Verify the information, and remember too, we're never going to ask for gift cards. That's always a big flag, right? Any electronic payment, gift cards, anything where you're giving personal information. Don't give your social security number to anyone. Like the bank, for instance, they're not going to call you. The IRS, they're not going to call you. We're only going to return a phone call. So just think about, how were you communicated with? Like if somebody sends you a text message and you don't know them, don't answer it, just delete it. A lot of times it's like a phishing where they want to build a confidence with you and then they think that you'll trust them. So just remember, if somebody's contacting you, you don't know, they're not your friend, and you have to keep your radar up.
You're right. It's little things like that. That's how they reel you in, and that's how they get you to disclose very, very sensitive information. All things to watch out for. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Township Treasurer Terry Weingarten about some recent scam calls and scam emails that have been coming through of people impersonating West Bloomfield Township officials, and things to watch out for to know if these forms of contact are legitimate. Now, Terry, you touched on this just a little bit ago, but obviously the rest of West Bloomfield Township has become informed with this, like the police officers. Are there partnerships with local law enforcement to track down and report these kinds of fraudulent activities?
Oh, absolutely. So even if somebody just contacts you and tries to scam you, let us know. Call the West Bloomfield Police Department. The case that we were made aware of did move all the way through, so the FBI is aware of it, because this is a very serious matter, that they're basically sending an email pretending that you owe money to the township. And it was a lot of money, it was thousands of dollars. So that wouldn't be how we do it. Like I said, we wouldn't send you an email and ask you to wire or ACH money electronically. We just wouldn't do that. But if you think somebody's trying to scam you, let the police department know. If it's legitimate, which usually it's not, but if it is, they'll let you know too how to get in touch with us and we can verify it for you. Always verify. If somebody says that you owe money, don't just pay it. Always verify and then pay it. It just takes a moment to make a phone call. So it's really important to keep law enforcement involved because they do track this. Years ago, we had a check scam where people were stealing our checks through the mail system, washing them, and then sending them to people that we didn't owe money to. And then they'd say, oh, we sent you $10,000. Sorry, it wasn't yours, but you can keep it if you send us back like $9,500. And people would do it. And so then the criminals would keep the difference. And when the people went to cash the checks were fake checks. So they're always coming up with new ideas on how to scam people, unfortunately.
That's right. And if you know of anything that has come your way, any suspicious emails or any suspicious phone calls, you can text 248-975-9200 for any concerns. You can call that number with any of your concerns. Once again, that number is 248-975-9200. That is with the West Bloomfield Police Department. All very, very important information, Terry. You've given out a lot of ways for people to stay aware of these suspicious texts or emails. What would you say is the biggest piece of advice above all else about safely handling these unexpected texts and emails of anyone claiming to be with the township?
You're going to think this sounds too simplistic. Take a big breath. Take a deep breath. If somebody's saying you owe money or you're in trouble or someone you love is in trouble, just stop. Take a deep breath and calm down and go slow and methodically. They're hoping that you're going to be stressed and anxious. And when people are stressed and anxious, they're not as careful. So if there's something coming at you that's stressful or hard financially, or someone's in trouble, take the breath and then say, I will investigate this. Thank you. And then make that phone call or email yourself to verify the information is correct.
You're absolutely right. Above all else, the most important thing to do is don't panic. Let everyone who needs to know what is going on, and people will take care of it from there, and you will be okay. That is, of course, the biggest thing everyone can remember. Terry, thank you so much for this conversation. I got one more question before we wrap things up. Looking ahead, how can residents stay connected with official township updates to ensure that they're getting accurate information from the right sources?
Well, first of all, we post these type of things on our website. Second of all, in the case of this scam, since it's such a sophisticated scam, I'm putting a message in my tax bill, but you always can call Town Hall. We have an open door policy. We're here every day. We're happy to talk to you. And also, as you mentioned, the police department, the administrative non-emergency line, they're aware of what's going on. And we all work together. I mean, we work with each other on a daily basis. We're very fortunate that all of our public safety and Town Hall, we really are an integrated force to protect you.
You're absolutely right. All of these great resources working together to make sure stuff like this does not happen. Terry, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
And that's going to do it for us today here on The Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible every single day. I've been your host, Jake Schaff, live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV.